I see one of my neighbors has a new decoration out. Christmas in August. Unreal. Right at our garage and test facility, let's see what we're driving this week. I had a Honda CR-V hybrid about 4 weeks ago, and they said they might send me another CR-V. I hope so. I'm going to do some four-wheeling this weekend. Yep, another Honda CR-V. Hoorah! Just what I wanted. Nice color, too. Considering it's about 113 degrees outside today, it'll do a good job of reflecting the heat. This is the top-of-the-line touring model. That means it costs a lot more money than the standard model. Has all-wheel drive. That means it costs more money, too. Can't wait to see the price sticker on this one. We actually had two Hondas, the second one being this CR-V hybrid. And this is the touring model, top of the line. If you want to see how the standard CR-V compares to the hybrid CR-V, just go into this video. The hybrid will be in part 2. Just click and watch. The base CR-V starts around 25,000 bucks. A pretty good deal. The Touring is loaded up with everything. I'll just scroll down real quick. If you see anything interesting, just freeze the frame. And there's the total damage. And no, it's not made in Japan, it's made in Canada for those who care about those things. For your 36 grand, you're getting LED headlights, and I'm trying to count the number of bulbs in there. It looks like 8 on each side. It doesn't matter, they either work or they don't. Let's take them out in the dark and see if they do. It's dark enough, we'll take these lights out and see what they do. Still can't count the number of bulbs. Just say there's a lot of. Uh-oh, nice big bumper in the middle of the road. Don't want to hit that. Ooh, somebody had a nasty hit. Glad it wasn't me. Honda gets upset if their cars get smashed. Here we have the headlights on a wall 100 feet away on low beam, very bright. Great for city driving. Go to high beam. Looks pretty bright again. Here we have the low beams, only building 300 feet away, just barely reaches out. Sort of. High beam. Very bright, widespread, more than adequate. Overall, I'd say these headlights are excellent, no complaints. Here's what the rear view camera looks like in the dark. Yeah, it's fuzzy, and it's not my camera doing that, it's the Honda camera doing that. I'd say we need an updated camera system in this vehicle. What does this button do? I have no idea what that is. And here's what the camera looks like in my driveway. You can see a bit more because of the surrounding light, but still a bit on the grainy side, not the sharpest I've ever seen. But it works. Under the hood is a tiny 1.5 liter engine, but it puts out a whopping 190 horsepower thanks to a turbocharger. Hooked to a CVT automatic transmission. 27 in the city, 32 on the highway, and 29 overall is the claim. We'll be taking this out in the real world to get the real fuel economy, as we always do. Just for the record, this vehicle has been in our fleet for 1,200 miles or so, averaging 24.5 mpg, as you can see. I have no idea how they were driving. I wasn't present, but it does give you an idea of what the real economy would end up being. But I'll be doing a lot more, especially some highway driving and off-roading, so don't go away. Since I'm in the cabin, we might as well take a closer look. The glove box has lots of room inside for all your goodies. The owner's book doesn't take up that much space. As you've already seen, a nice gauge cluster. We do get some glare and reflection on a hot sunny day, but I've seen worse, so I'm not going to complain. The info screen's not that large, but then again, it's not that small. More than adequate. The radio controls are easy to use. Very easy to program as well. The CVT automatic transmission gears are chosen by a stick. The good news, it's located off the console, so it doesn't take up that much room. Here you have drive. I think that's sport and low gears for off-roading. I'll have to read the owner's manual and verify that. I do have one gripe with the setup. It's difficult to tell if you're in drive or the sport or low if you're not looking. Many times I put it in the lower gears by accident, and I've talked to other people who have driven this. They did the same. But there is hope. The upgraded CRVs come with a push-button shifter, which is the best system overall, as we see in this touring hybrid model. Number one, it doesn't take up any space. Number two, it's almost impossible to choose the wrong gear. I don't even have to look. I can go by feel. And number three, when you turn the vehicle off, it automatically goes into park. No chance of it rolling downhill because you put it in some other gear like reverse, neutral, whatever. This is definitely a superior system that I would say on all Hondas and all motor vehicles. There is a gear indicator on the gauge cluster. Here, neutral, drive, S and L. This is where you need to be watching when you're putting it in gear, so you don't put it in the wrong gear. Like many modern vehicles on the road today, this vehicle has what is known as a start-stop system. The way it works, you pull up to a red light, put the brake on, the engine shuts off to save fuel, you touch the gas to move, the engine comes back on. Supposedly this saves gasoline. If you live in Los Angeles or Atlanta where the traffic goes at 5 miles per hour on the freeway, in constant stops it might. In city driving in most cities, it doesn't. And a lot of people find it annoying and want to turn it off. The good news, there is a button to turn it off by the transmission shifter right here. Click it, it's gone. When you turn the system off, you get a warning light on the gauge cluster to let you know it's not functioning, and that is fine, except it's orange. The same color as the check engine light, which is located a few inches down. That isn't good. On this vehicle, an orange warning light means there's something serious going on, and when this comes on, there's nothing serious going on, so it should be a different color. Because if I'm ignoring orange because I don't want to see this, I might end up ignoring orange on the check engine light, and that wouldn't be good. Honda, you need to change the color of this light and move it somewhere else. This concludes part one of the video. Part two, we're going out and do some driving, get some fuel economy figures, and we'll do that right now. And by the way, the fancy touring model gives you these large 19-inch wheels and giant tires. They look cool, but it should be interesting to see how the ride control is. I noticed on the street there's a lot of thumping and bumping going on. We'll take it out on some speed bumps to see what happens. So as we do in all of our videos, we're going to take some mild speed humps around 20 miles per hour. See how the suspension reacts. Number one. Some big thumping there. Number two. Yep, heard it. Didn't really feel it. The suspension does a good job, but these tires, whoa. Here comes the nasty one. I know we're going to hear something here. Whoa. I've driven a whole bunch of Honda CR-Vs, and those with the smaller wheels and tires have a very smooth ride. The suspension on this vehicle is pretty nice, but when you put big rubber and wheels on, you're going to get thumping and bumping, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's more to say about the size of the wheels, though, than the design of the car. So I'm really not complaining too much. The power steering on this CR-V feels pretty good. Responsive enough. I don't think anyone's going to complain. I'm not. As the real CVT transmissions are horrible as far as accelerating, but with the sport mode we might have a chance. Let's see. Well, it's trying. least the vehicle's moving out in a hurry. Very nice brakes, by the way. I'm going to set the fuel economy computer 0 so we can take a highway trip. Like so. In general, the CR-V is a comfortable vehicle to drive on the freeway, but with these large 19-inch wheels and giant tires, not so much. I'm feeling every bump on the road and the noise that goes along with it. Basically, these wheels and tires are just too big for a vehicle of this size, in my opinion. I would have preferred maybe something like an 18-incher at least. The wind noise is reasonably low too, but my cheap camera amplifies sound more than it should. So if you're listening to this, you'll probably hear a lot more noises that aren't real. In person, the vehicle's a lot quieter than it sounds on the video. We're coming to the end of the line. Let's pull over and see what the fuel economy reading says. Well, there you go, 50-mile trip, 30.8 mpg. We're going to have to make a stop at the ranch house to get some supplies so I can go out and do some four-wheel drive patrolling. It's an SUV. It needs to go off-road and get dirty. I got to fix that roof. I've been saying that for 4 years now. Here's the local chicken farm. 40 million chickens in there. Imagine all the chicken poop they have to clean up. The CR-V has enough ground clearance to be taken off-road. It's even more capable if you have all-wheel drive, as I do here. Remember, it's basically a car, not a heavy-duty truck, so tread lightly. If you have the hybrid CR-V, take a peek and make sure you got a spare tire. I've never seen one that had. Another thing I like about the CR-V is its narrow width, which allows it to squeeze into narrow trails without scratching the paint on these thorn bushes. Yep, there's the other ranch house. It needs a lot more work. I think I need to go to Home Depot and buy some new furniture. And I would hate to think what's crawling down in that hole. Maybe I should stick my finger in and find out, If you're in the habit of driving early in the morning and the sun's in back of you, you might not be able to see the gauge cluster. It gets drowned out. In the meantime, ranch patrol is over. Time to head back to town, to civilization, and wrap up this video. Too many snakes out today. So that's my take on this Honda CR-V after a week of driving. And it's a pretty nice vehicle. Easy to see why it's one of the best-selling compact SUVs on the market. In a couple of weeks, we'll have a Toyota RAV and a Mazda CX-30. Same size SUV in the same price class. Subscribe so you don't miss those videos. Now coming up is the hybrid version of the CR-V. Just click and watch.